president, but don't be the world's biggest jackass.
If we embrace this language of divisiveness and ugliness, we'll never win.
He speaks his mind. He says what he believes, and you either accept it or you don't. But he should not apologize for anything that he says, and I respect him for that.
A range of opinions on Donald Trump and his controversial language. And while some of his fellow GOP candidates think he's harming the GOP brand, voters are supporting him in record numbers. But it seems Trump may be getting fed up with all the criticism. Get this, he's hinting at a nuclear option, becoming a third-party candidate. For more, let's bring in our panel. Joining us now on the right's a conservative, chairman of conservativehq.com, Richard Viguerie. Also joining us, Democratic media strategist Franco Ripple. He's also the vice president of KateCom Public Relations. Welcome to you both. Richard, let's start with you. Trump says he might make a third-party run if the RNC is not fair to him during the primaries. More bombastic talk from Mr. Trump, or do you think he could possibly make an independent run?
Well, certainly. That's, very much available to him, and he's got the resources to do it. We saw what happened to the Republican candidate in 1992 with Ross Perot getting 19% of the vote. The issue is very simple, Rick. Donald Trump is getting the support he is because of the failure of the Republican leaders. The Republican leaders, every time they attack Trump, are driving more and more Americans into his camp. And you're seeing somewhat the same on the left with Bernie Sanders. There's a lot of people very angry and frustrated out there. They see we're losing our country. We're not able to protect the borders. We're losing overseas. And the establishment's acting as if, nothing is wrong. And so the Republican establishment is driving people right into the camps of people like Donald Trump. And the same you see somewhat to a lesser extent on the Democratic side.
All right, well, Franco, let's take this a step further. Trump decides to run. He's an independent. We know he's been a Democrat in the past, but it seems like that he would hurt the Republican Party more if he was to make that third-party run. What do you think?
Rick, there's no doubt about it. I mean, absolutely. Donald Trump, please run as an independent candidate for president. Because as my friend on the right very smartly pointed out, the last time you had a, I'll say this generously, eccentric billionaire run as a third-party candidate, he got 19% of the vote, and you said hello to President Bill Clinton. I think if he does it again this time, we'll be welcoming a Clinton back into the White House, and I think that that would be a good thing. But I also want to point out that, as you said in the intro, that voters are supporting Donald Trump in record numbers. I don't think that's true. Yes, he's leading certain polls right now, but that support is a mile wide and an inch deep. When you go deeper into, for example, the recent AP-GFK poll, he's unelectable. And in fact, a majority of Americans disagree with him on his signature issue, which is immigration. 64% of Americans in that latest poll support a comprehensive pathway to citizenship. So Donald Trump has it all wrong yet again.
All right, the key word there from you, Franco, unelectable. Richard, do you agree?
Well, yes. I mean, we're a long ways from seeing a Donald Trump as the nominee of the Republican Party or President Trump. I don't think any of us think that that's in the cards. But what you're seeing is a version of what I consider the most powerful and the most effective political message slogan ever designed by man. And that is send them a message, okay? And the American people are sending a message to the Democrats through Bernie Sanders and the Republicans through Donald Trump. And people are angry out there, and that's what you're seeing. Yeah, they disagree maybe on the majority of issues with Trump. Trump is more of a Democrat than he is a Republican. He's given about $400,000 away in the last few election cycles, and 55% of that has been to Democrats. So on most issues, he comes down on the Democrat side. But still, people are angry, and they just want to send a message to the ruling class, and that's what you're seeing out here. And if the Republicans are smart, they're going to wake up and address some of these issues that the American people are angry about.
Well, Franco, the Republican governors... If I could jump in real quick, Richard. The Republican governors are meeting right now in Aspen, Colorado. There has been some talks, according to the New York Times, to try to squeeze him out of this first debate in Cleveland the first week in August by quite possibly saying Marco Rubio would sit it out, Jeb Bush would sit it out, Scott Walker would sit it out if they allowed Trump on that stage. You're a media strategist. Would that be good for the Republican Party?
Well, that's actually a very interesting question.
The Republican Party.
Let me let Franco jump in there. What do you think, Franco?
So that's actually a very interesting question because in my home state of Florida, the last time a Republican governor started to sit out a debate was against Democrat Charlie Crist, and he almost lost the election solely over that incident. It's never a good idea to sit out the debate because with 16 clowns in the clown car running for president on the Republican side, they all need oxygen. And I think that's why you've seen this week Ben Carson actually take the unconventional move of somewhat defending Donald Trump, saying that attacks against his comments are petty. That's because the most common response to Ben Carson running for president is, Ben who? Oh, wait, that guy who's also one of the other guys running for president. Candidates have to do whatever they can do to get some oxygen, and I think that's why they're all talking about Donald Trump.
All right, Franco, I appreciate that. But Richard, what do you think? Do you think Donald Trump, though, would increase the GOP brand if he was on that debate stage talking about issues like immigration?
Well, what he would do is force these candidates, with few exceptions, they're ignoring these issues. The American people gave the Republicans a resounding victory, landslide victory in 2014, based on issues like secure the border, no amnesty, abolish Obamacare, and the Republican leaders promptly, quickly abandoned those campaign issues that they had run on. In other words, they lied to the American people. And so by Trump focusing in on not only immigration, but if he were to change and start talking about Obamacare, Planned Parenthood scandals, the corrupt
Richard, I'm sure he's going to address all those issues. And I'm going to leave it right there. Richard, thank you so much. Franco Ripple, we appreciate it as well. We're coming right back here on Newsmax Prime.